The human brain is the most complex structure known in the universe. It weighs only about 1.4 kilograms, yet within this small mass exists a foundation of everything we think, feel, imagine, and remember. Every memory, every emotion, every decision, and every moment of consciousness arises from the activity of this extraordinary organ. From the simplest reflex to the most abstract philosophical thought, the human brain governs our perception of reality. It allows us to recognize faces, understand language, experience empathy, create art, and explore the universe beyond our planet. No other known structure combines such efficiency, adaptability, and complexity. But where did this remarkable organ come from? How did biological evolution produce a structure capable of self-awareness, creativity, and scientific inquiry? How does a network of cells give rise to thought, emotion, and identity? To answer these questions, we must travel deep into time. The story of the human brain is not only the story of humanity, it is the story of life itself, shaped by hundreds of millions of years of adaptation, survival, and change. In this documentary, we explore the origin, structure, inner workings, and evolution of the human brain, tracing its journey from the simplest nerve cells to the most advanced biological system ever observed. The story of the human brain begins more than 500 million years ago, long before humans, mammals, or even vertebrates existed. At that time, life on Earth was dominated by simple organisms living in ancient oceans. These early life forms had no brains, no thoughts, and no consciousness as we understand it today. The earliest nervous systems were simple networks of neurons, often described as nerve nets. These networks allowed organisms to respond to basic environmental stimuli, such as light, temperature, chemical signals, and physical contact. There was no central control. Responses were automatic, immediate, and purely reactive. Despite their simplicity, these early nervous systems provided a critical advantage. Organisms that could sense and respond to their environment were more likely to survive. Over time, evolution favored greater efficiency in information processing. Gradually, neurons began to cluster together. Instead of being spread evenly throughout the body, they formed centralized regions capable of processing information more rapidly. This marked the birth of the first true brains in early vertebrates. With centralized brains came faster reaction times, improved coordination, and greater behavioral flexibility. Predators became more efficient hunters. Prey became better at detecting and avoiding danger. For the first time, behavior could be adjusted based on experience. This evolutionary shift laid the foundation for intelligence. Not intelligence as we know it today, but the earliest form of adaptive decision-making. The journey toward the human brain had begun. The modern human brain is divided into three main regions: the brainstem, the cerebellum, and the cerebrum. Each region evolved at different stages in evolutionary history, and each performs essential functions that allow us to survive and thrive. The brainstem is the most ancient part of the brain. It connects the brain to the spinal cord and controls vital automatic functions. Breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, and sleep cycles are all regulated by the brainstem. Without it, life would not be possible. Above the brainstem lies the cerebellum. Although it represents only a small portion of the brain's total volume, it contains more neurons than all other brain regions combined. The cerebellum is responsible for balance, coordination, timing, and motor precision. Every smooth movement, from walking to speaking, depends on its activity. The largest and most complex region of the brain is the cerebrum. This is where higher cognitive functions take place. The cerebrum enables thinking, reasoning, imagination, language memory, and conscious awareness. The outer layer of the cerebrum is known as the cerebral cortex. It is deeply folded, creating grooves and ridges that dramatically increase surface area. These folds allow billions of neurons to fit inside the skull. The cerebral cortex is the seat of perception, decision-making, and voluntary control. Different regions of the cortex specialize in different tasks. Some areas process sensory information. Others control movement. Still others are involved in language, planning, and abstract thought. Together, these regions form an integrated system capable of extraordinary complexity. Inside the human brain are approximately 86 billion neurons. Each neuron is a specialized cell designed to transmit information, but neurons do not work in isolation. They form vast networks connected by trillions of synapses. Neurons communicate using electrical impulses and chemical messengers known as neurotransmitters. When a neuron is activated, an electrical signal travels along its axon. At the synapse, the signal is converted into a chemical message that crosses the gap to the next neuron. This process occurs at astonishing speed. In milliseconds, signals travel across complex neural circuits. From these interactions emerge thoughts, emotions, memories, and decisions. Different patterns of neural activity correspond to different mental states. Fear, joy, curiosity, and sadness each arise from distinct neural processes. Even the sense of self emerges from the coordinated activity of distributed brain networks. The brain is not static. It is constantly changing through a process known as neuroplasticity. Connections between neurons strengthen or weaken based on experience. New connections form, and used connections fade. This plasticity allows the brain to learn, adapt, and recover from injury. It is why practice improves skill, why memories are formed, and why the brain can reorganize itself after damage. Neuroplasticity is one of the brain's most remarkable features. Over millions of years, the brains of early hominins gradually increased in size and complexity. Environmental challenges placed increasing demands on cognition. Finding food, avoiding predators, and navigating social relationships required more advanced mental abilities. Toolmaking played a critical role. Using tools required planning, precision, and foresight. Those who could imagine new solutions had a survival advantage. Social cooperation further shaped brain evolution. Living in groups required communication, empathy, and the ability to understand the intentions of others. Language emerged as a powerful tool for sharing information across generations. As these demands increased, the frontal lobes of the brain expanded. This region enabled planning, impulse control, abstract reasoning, and self-awareness. It allowed humans to think about the future, reflect on the past, and imagine possibilities that did not yet exist. Human intelligence became cumulative. Knowledge could be stored, transmitted, and built upon. Culture emerged. Technology advanced. Civilizations formed. Humans became not only survivors, but architects of their environment. We reshaped landscapes, built cities, explored the planet, and eventually reached beyond it. All of this was driven by the evolving power of the human brain. Today, the human brain continues to evolve. While biological evolution moves slowly, cultural and technological evolution moves rapidly. Education, language, and digital technology reshape neural development. Neuroscience and artificial intelligence now interact in unprecedented ways. By studying the brain, we create machines that think. By building machines that think, we gain new insights into the brain. Despite centuries of research, the human brain remains one of science's greatest mysteries. We understand many of its parts, but not the full nature of consciousness itself. The organ that seeks to understand the universe may itself be the most complex universe of all.